Hi Stampers, welcome to Learning with Friends. I am Pat Fearless from Fearless Stamp and Flair, and today I have kind of a fun technique. It's called striped white. Maybe you've seen it before. It's kind of a take on using baby wipes to make our stamps or ink our stamps. But we're not going to use it with stamps. We're just going to use the baby wipes, and it's a direct to paper kind of a technique. Very, very few supplies are required. All you need are some reinkers, some baby wipes, and some cardstock. And for cardstock, you can use pretty much any neutral color cardstock you have, white, very vanilla. It also works really well with glossy cardstock and photo paper. So I'm going to show it to you on photo paper and regular basic white cardstock. You could probably, we used to have something called shimmer white or shimmery white, and I'm guessing it would be really pretty on that too if you have any leftovers. Maybe someday they'll bring shimmery white back. We can all hope, right? And I'd love to have them bring glossy cardstock back because there's so many fun techniques to do with glossy cardstock. But photo paper works well too. So let's go ahead and flip the camera to my desktop and get started. So I'm going to show it to you on both basic white cardstock, which is what this is, and then I'm also going to show it to you on photo color paper. So, or I should say photo paper. It's probably not really photo color paper, it's just photo paper. And the colors I'm going to use for my first one, I'm kind of going to make like a sunset lake scene, I guess you'd call it. So the colors I have are Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Lemon Lolly, what is this one? Balmy Blue, and Soft Seafoam. And I'm going to show you the piece that I originally made. This was my very first attempt at doing this, and it was a good learning experience, and I learned a couple things. So when you do this, you'll want to have a minimum of 2 different colors, but you can use as many as you want. My hint is, so with this card, I had 5, and you can see here, those are the colors I used, and I put all 5 on one baby wipe and then tried to drag it across. It's a little bit tricky to have a long baby wipe and try to drag it across. Either my hands aren't big enough, the paper likes to move, so you kind of want to be able to hold the paper and drag. So I'm going to do this in 2 stages. So I'm going to do the top 3 colors first, which are Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, and Daffodil Delight. And then I'll do the bottom 2 on a clean baby wipe. So get my baby wipe out here. The first thing we want to do is fold it in approximately quarters. And you don't have to fold it in quarters. The thing you really want is you basically want about at your folded edge that you're going to wipe, you want about 4 layers because it'll hold the ink a little bit better. And I also found I want my stripes for my finished card to go this way, and I found it easier to pull it towards me. I seemed to have better control. And the other thing I found was if I used a little temporary adhesive, I just get this at Amazon. Don't tell Stampin' Up, but they don't sell any anymore. So I like to put it down with temporary adhesive. I'm going to use my glass mat. I apologize for glare that you see over here. I've done everything I can to try to minimize it. But I'm going to drag it like this. So thinking about my order, I'm going to put Calypso Coral here. And the thing is with these, let me just go ahead and take my covers off from all of them so they're ready to go. It just makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to do that, but the wider you make your amount of ink, the wider your stripe's going to be. Now, don't worry about that too much, other than if you want it to be really thin, then just maybe put a dot. So I'm going to put, maybe just a little over an inch or so of Calypso Coral here. And then my next color is Petal Pink. And we're just squeezing a little bit onto the edge. If these overlap or run together, that's no problem. You kind of want the colors to blend anyway. And then we're going to put a little bit of, did I say daffodils are light? This is actually lemon lolly. So I'm using my glass mat because now I can start. I'm going to put the four at the top, get in the right order. So you can start right at the edge and then just drag it across. And you can do this multiple times until you get it to look the way you want it. Now, the one thing I kind of, and if you want to go back and add some more color, like maybe I want that lemon lolly to be just a little bit wider. Let's just go ahead and add a little bit more. Or if you want your colors to be more intense or maybe not so striped or streaked, if you want them solid, you can wipe as many times as you want. Don't do that. That was me touching the paper where I shouldn't have. But it's all right. We'll just, it's going to look like something in the sky. I kind of like the streaks, to be honest with you. And that is basically the technique. So let me get a second one here, and again, we're going to fold it. I'm going to fold it twice because I want this to have about 4 layers, and I'm going to add some, did I say this was balmy blue here on this edge, and this is soft seafoam we'll put here. And now we can rub this underneath it. So I'm going to start off and go across. And you will see if you stop in the middle, you will get a line. And you can see here on my original one, I didn't start off the edge, so I did miss, you can see where you are. And I stopped partway through because I was having a hard time managing that long piece of baby wipe because it wants to just move on me. And so you will get lines like that, but that's okay. It's part of the fun. And let's just run that right into the, and there I started in the middle. That'll give you a little bit different appearance. Now this, since this is regular, and the easy thing with this glass mat is clean up, especially when you got a baby wipe in your hand. So you can see here, this is a little streaked. I could rub more times. I could add more ink. Since this is basic white cardstock, it doesn't manage moisture all that well. But you're going to want to set this aside to dry because it is right now fairly damp because there's quite a bit of ink on there. But let me show you the card that I made with that technique. I used the Garden Meadow stamp set and dies, and this is the striped piece that I did. Now, if you make your technique sheet a little larger, like I did here, now you can adjust side to side, top, up, down, however you want to, where you want to cut. So if you didn't like this particular little mark that I got up here when I dragged the corner, I could cut it way over here, and then it would be covered by my sentiment, right? So don't worry about it if you get extra marks. It's good. It kind of adds a little interest. But that's the card. 3 flowers here. The little copper watering can I thought was kind of cute to give it a little shimmer. I added a few dragonflies from butterflies and dragonflies embellishments. And like I said, because this was a little bit larger when I cut it, I had some scraps on the edge. And so I just took a scrap and put that on here. And I didn't know how many flowers I was going to need. My original thought was I'd have them go all the way across, but then I kind of decided I liked them just partially because it kind of looked like water down here. And I sort of like that. So that is my first card. Now, let me show you one on photo paper. So this is photo paper. It is glossy, so it's similar to glossy cardstock. And I am going to put my covers on my ink here just to get them out of the way for a minute because I had some different colors. The first group I used were basically all from the subtles. group of colors. And the next group I'm going to use are Regals. So it's a little bolder, brighter. And you will also see that on the glossy cardstock, the colors are a little bit more vibrant. These are, and as they dry, they even become softer. So it depends on what you're after. If you're after bright and bold colors, I'd suggest glossy cardstock or photo paper. And if you want more of a subtle, quiet look, like this kind of is here, very peaceful, this was on regular cardstock. So I am going to do another. I'm going to do another baby wipe. And I'm going to fold it again. And this time, the colors I am going to use are crushed curry, garden green, blueberry bushel, and gorgeous grape. So those are the 4 colors I'm going to use. I'm going to try to do all 4 on one. So I don't know that the order matters here much. And again, it might be easier for me to do this in batches of 2 colors, but we're going to try. So there's my gorgeous grape. Oh, why didn't I put the blueberry bushel on next? And then we will do maybe garden green, and we'll save the crushed curry for last. Put these on to the sides, so I don't knock them over. That'd be my normal trick. I dump them on my paper. So this one we're going to do a little bit different, and I'm going to move this a little bit. I'm not going to adhere this one down because I'm going to move around as I do this. So I'm just going to swipe down the first time here at an angle. And then I'm going to turn it around a bit. And I'm going to swipe at an angle again. And we continue to do this until the cardstock is full. And you kind of want to get your fingers behind the edge to hold them down. And how about we run this maybe in this direction down here. Now, I'm not worrying too much about going the whole way. I sort of want it to be a little bit unique. This is just kind of an all-over pattern that I'm doing here. So I'm going to leave some white. Now, don't worry too much about the fact that, you know, this starts and stops and whatever, because I'm going to show you the card. And I think it turned out really cute. It's kind of fun. Let me get this clean up my mess. I might need a cleaner. And let's just wipe this ink off the glass mat. That's what's nice about the glass mat. Very easy to clean up. Now, I did bring some latex gloves to use because I was going to try to keep my fingers clean. Well, so much for that idea. I have inky fingers, but that's all right. So this is my bright and bold one, I'm calling it. And here's the card I made. This uses the Filled with Happiness stamp set and the coordinating modern oval punch. But you can see this little mess here in the middle. If you didn't like that, maybe you do like it. But if you didn't, I already knew I was going to cover it with something. So I didn't worry about it. I just wanted it to go in different directions and just look kind of like a modern sort of a painting. So that was card number 2. Now, card number 3, I'm not going to demonstrate it. I made this one also on photo color paper. And this was done, can you see those kind of squiggles? I did I inked 3 colors. I inked the Azure Afternoon. What was the other one? I'll find my notes here. Balmy Blue. So there's Azure Afternoon, Balmy Blue, and Fresh Freezing. So I had 3 strips. And then I did that once, and as I dragged it, instead of dragging it straight, I just kind of went back and forth a little bit like this. So that's how you get these swirls that kind of look like clouds. And then I did it a second time down below it. And then at the bottom, I used Granny Apple Green. And so I did that last after I inked this, and I inked another one with Granny Apple Green and just put a few swirls of that on there. So this is stamp set is Delicate Forest. All of these are kind of new toys to me, but I was happy how that looked and turned out. The inside, I kept it very plain with just mats. The sentiment is simple, could be for any occasion, and I don't know yet what I'm going to use it for, so I just left it blank. Now, the image on here, I did heat emboss this with black embossing powder. You could certainly just stamp it with Stays-On ink. If you do heat emboss on photo paper, just be careful that you don't overheat the paper because it does have a tendency to want to bubble up a little bit sometimes. So I just took my time, kept it a little bit further away than I normally would, and let it heat emboss in its own sweet time. So that is the last card. So let me just bring these back in here. Here's the first one we made. Did I show you the inside? I did show you the inside of that one. And then here is card, the third card. And I don't know if I showed you the inside. Again, I just left a very simple mat. It's a good day to have a good day. I'm not sure what sentiment I will use with that. Maybe I'll just write a hand note for somebody who needs some encouragement. So those are my 3 cards. Isn't that a simple, easy technique and so fun? Let me just flip me back here. All right, and guess what? My camera didn't blink and flink and whatever. Once today, I don't think. If it did, I apologize, but I didn't see it happen. So I think we're good to go all the way through here. So I hope you like that. It's called Striped White. Need very few supplies, and you can have your choice of cardstocks, your choice of colors. My hints basically are don't try to make your baby wipe too long with too many colors, because as you drag it, you can't get a good press on there with one hand and kind of swipe it along. It's easier to have a little bit shorter piece that's maybe the width of your fingers or so. So that's my hint for that. So I hope you like that. I hope you try it. If you do, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear the comments that people say, oh, I haven't seen that before, or oh, I'm going to try this one. This looks like fun. So give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel and help it grow. And please share the video with your friends, because learning alone is no fun, but we'd rather learn with friends, right? So have a great day, and we will see you next week for a surprise. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll figure something out. So have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.